And good morning, Laramie. This is Eric Henderson, host of the Talk Shop in Studio 255 at the Laramie Plains Civic Center. Our goal, your awareness. This program, created 9 years ago now in the Gem City of the Plains, brought hundreds, maybe thousands of guests to the Laramie Plains Civic Center and our studios of KOCA 93.5 FM. With us today, Michaela Atkinson. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
You have the pleasure of being at the helm of Foundation Builders of Laramie.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that facility, and don't be shy. Boast up.
Foundation Builders is a new community center here in town. We're here to reach the youth of Laramie to Christ, build strong connections, and developing character, life skills, training. We have a 37,000 square foot facility that's used for all kinds of indoor and outdoor sports activities, events.
Right on the edge of Soldier Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier Springs Road. If you go off of what's that, Skyline Road, if you go off Skyline, left or right off Skyline, and right about the corner where Gibson's used to be, Bart's Flea Market. If you remember these businesses, you're getting close, because just a smidge down Soldier Springs Road, probably less than quarter of a mile.
Yep, just right off to the left.
Yeah, you'll be on your left. Fantastic facility. Looks dynamite, and around it, wonderful equestrian friendly residences. Mm-hmm. They're a fantastic build in Laramie as well. Wonderful homes for so many with equine interests at the heart of the whole complex, and that makes for a unique environment. Foundation Builders is a unique concept as well. Tell us more about the mission of Foundation Builders.
So we're a faith-based nonprofit organization. Our mission is to get these youth developed in Christ-centered character through different sports, trades, recreation, and services that they can provide. We just want to change the next generation, kind of cancel the woke culture that we're seeing today, and bring back old school kids again. So.
When you saw this position advertised, or were approached to do this position for the Dowley Ridge location, mm-hmm. Foundation Builders, how did they excite you?
So actually, I got my degree at the University of Wyoming in business management, and one of our projects was to create sort of a fake business on paper.
Okay.
Make it successful on paper. And so we had to fundraise for it, and all of the money went to a nonprofit at the end. I chose the soup kitchen for my project, but my business that I created was like a summer camp or a course that you can take in the summer for kids to learn the things that they don't learn in school, like how to change a tire, how to do taxes, how to cook good meals. And my husband actually does drone videos, and his cousin is the manager of Spur Ridge, and she asked, hey, can you come take a video of Foundation Builders?
Nice.
I haven't been out on Soldier Springs since Bart's closed down, and we went out there, and I met with the owners and saw their vision, and it fit perfectly with what I've always had a passion for, is teaching kids.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite. I did frequent the facility, maybe a year and a half ago, and it's a wonderful shell, wonderful building, great parking, room mm-hmm. to do so many dynamic things. It has massive overhead doors at the west, or actually it's the east side of the building, that makes for easy load-in. That makes for incredible opportunities of indoor-outdoor future events. Mm-hmm. And there's a feeling as you're in that largest area. What's the square footage of that, Michaela?
I'm not quite too sure about the whole property as a whole, but the 37,000 square foot is the indoor facility.
Is that the indoor section? Now the south end of the building has at least a couple meeting rooms. It has its own. I think there are three southern entrances, the three overhead doors that allow you in from the southern access, and each of those on design had a special purpose. What is your purpose for that section of the Foundation Builders facility?
So we have a large conference room on one side with an office, and that's currently being rented by Fellowship of Christian Athletes. The large conference room is just to host any like smaller parties, any meetings that you don't have space for. We've done UFC watch parties there, just little fun things like that. And then on the other side, we have two more offices. The one office is being rented by a youth pastoral counselor, and the other one we're hoping to have some sort of children's psychologist or counselor in there for these kids. And on the other end, we also have a kitchen and a dining room that's available for rent. The kitchen is still unfinished, so we're hoping to, create a space where kids can learn how to cook, clean up after themselves, food safety, nutrition, things like that, and then it'll be a great event space.
A lot of contractors and successful builders have made this Foundation Builders facility and come together in collaboration. One of those spaces, when I was introduced and toured through this facility, was had a mind to be open for trades development and vocational track learning and development, and perhaps even entrepreneurial ventures that might be born out of there. Is that still something that Foundation Builders is open to at Dally Ridge?
Yes, we're currently looking for sponsors that want to sponsor or head up one of the bays. We have three of them. We want to do woodworking, mechanics, welding, and construction in those three bays. So
beautiful, beautiful. Well, that was an endeavor that excited me for the facility as much as anything. Now, internal, you've got to the north end, you've got another large meeting space. I don't know the size of that, but you wouldn't be uncomfortable probably with 30, 40 people in that space. It was a really room-based area, and each of these north and south ends are below what are elevated stages almost. Either side allows there's stair access, no elevators in the facility, right?
no.
Yeah, so stair access to these very large upper areas, as large as the square footage is below, straight down, you have that large area and an available space for another dynamic. It could be perhaps a church in its congregation from two ends. You could have the choir in the one end and pastors in the front, but lot of possibilities. Isn't that part of the adventure for you, directing such a facility and showing people the property?
Mm-hmm. I love giving tours and telling people, what are your thoughts? Because there's endless opportunities here for us. So,
well, you have a great group of people who have come together. Osborne family, Settlemeyer family, Aaronholtz family, Billy. Just, I don't want to miss anybody. Tell us all who came together to make this possible.
Yeah, so the Osbornes first started a Christian I don't know if it was a nonprofit, but it was a community outreach group called Foundation Builders Servants Outreach in 2012 through church, and they gathered with some of those different families, the Wileys, the Froods, John Aaronholtz, and so they would just meet the community needs and provide service for anyone in need. And in 2020, when COVID hit, it became evident that there's a need for kids to have a safe, positive environment to learn and not get into what I call small town trouble. So yeah, they had that vision and they built it from the ground up into what it is today. So.
One of the things I learned while probably growing up in Cheyenne and growing up more in Laramie while attending the University of Wyoming is positive choices
Mm-hmm.
lead to positive results.
Yes,
And positive opportunities are a growth ground for those positive results to ever be seen or realized.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a magnificent opportunity for Laramie, the surrounding area, and the state of Wyoming, frankly, with respect to expanding on the mission, purpose, and vision of Foundation Builders. And when I toured the facility, they didn't have a name. I referred to it as Dally Ridge. It was the Dally Ridge location and the Dally Ridge facility. And so I'm glad to know the growth. I met you at least 2 years ago
Mm-hmm.
through Trunk or Treat, and you're a dynamic planner. So I'm excited for Foundation Builders to have you and your leadership there at that property, and I'm excited to bring a few events your way as well. I want to host a number of events. What are some of the restrictions that are there for Foundation Builders property?
So, since we're a faith-based organization, we like to respect the facility that God has given to us. There's no alcohol allowed in the indoor facility. No profanity, watch your language, things like that.
Right.
That's about it, though. It's pretty open.
So when looking to things to do, when you consider where you might have maybe have a comedy night, folks. Maybe you enjoy the largest comedy night Laramie has known at this unbelievable Foundation Builders facility. Maybe you bring an event that's never been seen in Laramie. Maybe you bring that dynamic opportunity to brighten somebody's world, open their eyes to new horizons.
Mm-hmm.
Michaela is going to be your contact to do just exactly that. How does somebody reach you, find out more about Foundation Builders, and explore the possibilities that you and your organization have for the Gem City of the Plains?
So we have a contact form on our website. It's just foundation-builders.org. You can reach me through Facebook, Instagram. My phone number's on our website, on our pages. You can call me, text me, or you can just show up, and I'll be happy to talk with you and give you a tour of the place.
And for those that are saying, give it to me, what's your number? I want to call you now. What's the best number to reach you?
It is 307-314-5004.
And your favorite email to take email messages?
It is foundationbuilders.yo@gmail.com.
That's WYO?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good. Well, you have been most appreciated of your time. Thank you for investing it here at the Talk Shop. What'd you prepare? You got pages of stuff that you brought prepared to talk about. We're going to talk about that and more after a short break. We appreciate you listening to the Talk Shop. This segment brought to you by Dan Passman, Union Home Mortgage in Laramie, 208 Grand Avenue in historic downtown Laramie. That's Dan Passman. On Tuesdays, a 9 o'clock credit tip each week from Mr. Passman. We appreciate Dan Passman, your support, and that of Channels Village, 513 Boswell Drive in Laramie. More after this.